Javier, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Islam Makhachev special. So obviously we've been trying to get Islam on the podcast, but his English and he's worried about it and he wants to get better English and rightfully so. I understand he's insecure about saying the wrong thing or coming across wrong, and it's a very important time in his career where he doesn't want to get misquoted or say something that could change how fans look at him. So I figured it'd be a good thing to do a spotlight on Islam and talk about, first of all, his fight with RDA coming up, what your thoughts are, how his training's going, and then we can kind of break down Islam being at AKA since he came in until now, and you can share some insight on who Islam is, how he was in the beginning, how he's improved, and all this kind of stuff. So first, let's start with RDA. That fight got announced. He's fighting RDA finally. What are your thoughts on that fight? And let's start with that.
Well, the fight got announced. It was RDA. I was talking. I don't think I was doing it on your podcast, but I said to somebody that logically it was going to be Beneil or it's going to be RDA, ideally, right, because of the way that the system works. Justin Gaethje had lost to Khabib, hasn't fought since then. Right. Michael Chandler just lost to the champion. The UFC traditionally puts the winners against the winners, the losers against the losers. So being that Justin lost, it makes sense that they put him with Chandler. And being that Beneil won and also that Islam won and RDA won their last ones, it would fit normal that they would put one of them. So I was fine with whoever they gave us. I didn't care. I didn't care who it was. It could have been the champion right now for Islam. I don't care because he's going to beat him. It doesn't matter to me who he fights. They can give him the champion right now. I don't care. He's that good. So for me, but I thought we were going to get, RDA. And because RDA accepted the fight before, I think that was a good one for them to do. But there was a little miscommunication in there because I think that RDA wanted a 5-rounder, and I think RDA thought that Islam didn't want to do a 5-rounder.
Oh, okay.
Islam doesn't care. He's going to do a 1 minute, whatever. He don't care. He'll fight you. You're not going to beat him. It doesn't matter to him. Nah. Do 1 minute, 2 minutes. He got to fight you. 5 rounds, 10 rounds. That's what he does, And RDA, the same thing. If someone said RDA is afraid, I'd say the same thing about RDA. He ain't afraid. None of these fighters are afraid. When were you ever afraid to fight anybody? Nobody. Yeah. That's why I just want to make that clear. Fighters aren't afraid. Things may happen, the miscommunication, things happen of that nature, but fighters are not afraid. Your corner may tell you you're not ready yet, or we don't want this fight for this reason or that reason, or they don't pay you enough money, or et cetera, but because you're afraid, get out of the fight game. If that's who
it's a business. It's a business, Hop, and I'll give you an example of that.
Nobody's afraid.
And when I fought Chris Lieben, Chris Lieben, everybody knows Chris Lieben, right?
Of course.
He beat me for the championship at WEC. We fought for the title, and then I wanted a rematch when I got in the UFC after Ultimate Fighter, and then we were told they turned down the fight, which they did. In the reunion, Dana called Joe Silva and confirmed that his camp did turn down the fight. But do you think Chris Lieben was afraid and turned down the fight, or do you think his camp turned down the fight because of a business reason?
Afraid of you?
For sure, he's not afraid of me.
No, Chris was like, "Hey, Swick, yeah, let's go."
Yeah,
sure. And if you beat him 10 times, the 11th time he feels he's going to beat you.
100%.
If he's a fighter, he's going to go, "Let's go."
Yeah. So let's get to the RDA fight for now. How's his camp going? And I don't know exactly when the fight is. So did he start camp yet, or is he just getting in? I saw the thing, but I don't know exactly when the date is. So is he in camp yet or not yet?
Okay. Originally, we were supposed to be fighting in December. In Vegas. That's when the tentative date was. And what ended up happening is they ended up working out a deal where they're putting him in Abu Dhabi. So I was planning on going to Dagestan first week of September and staying there overseas for about 2 or 3 months training Eagles MMA, working a lot of the fighters that I've been associated with and, training with Khabib. So Islam hasn't... since he's been home, I don't know what he's doing. I would imagine he's like always, he's doing dirt bike riding or something adventurous, but he's probably getting back in the gym now. I would imagine if he hasn't already been back in the gym, he's probably getting back now. But that guy is always busy doing something. He's always outdoorsy type. He's very outdoorsy.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back then and just reverse a little bit. I assume I know he just had the fight. What about the last fight? Let's talk about that a little bit. Can you talk about his camp leading into the fight, that strategy going in, and then how he did accordingly?
Well, the fight with Moses originally, we were gonna do the Matador type scenario where he was gonna outpoint him, stand outside, outpoint him, because because I'm the one that comes up with the game plans, and I said, you know what, Moises is kind of dangerous on the ground. I think you can outstrike him. Let's just outstrike him. Let's just do that. And this is the first time ever I've done this. And this is the beauty of having guys that are so god darn good.
Yeah.
That right then and there I decided
you can change it.
Day, I said, hey, I changed it completely. I said, hey, I go, what do you think about it? Just let's reverse the Matador and let's go to Father's plan more than anything, because I really believe that Islam, nobody can beat him on the ground. You're the only one that's been able to do anything to him ever. So let's just go Father's plan. I think 100%. He goes, yeah, coach, I think you're right. Let's just do that. So we went that route. But what I'm getting at is, look, I went from the stand-up, the Matador type, which is hit and move, angles, et cetera, to all of a sudden in close quarters, ground and pound, submission, all those things. So how good is Islam for us to be able to feel that confident that we changed the game plan, boom, right then and there. Yeah. That's how good he is. So the camp leading up to this fight was incredible. He like Khabib, doesn't lose rounds. No. Nobody. The only person that used to beat him was Khabib. No one else has ever beat Islam. No one's ever beat Islam. So, am I a great coach? Absolutely not. I have great fighters. Yeah, so I can pick. I can just go, hey man, it's like my eyes see, boom, boom, boom. He's whooping everybody, boom, boom, boom. So it's like, how hard is it for me to say how good he is? Because I see him do it. Now, I think I would be a great coach if I didn't see him spar top quality guys, and then I make those kind of assessments. Then I'm like, wow, that guy's unbelievable. But I have the cheat sheet, because I'm looking at it. I'm right there watching the views, and I'm going, oh, so you start crossing things out because you actually get to watch. Yeah. So it's not fair, that I make these quotes because I cheat. I see what I have.
Yeah. And so take me through the fight, like in the corner and stuff like that. How did it go? And was it what you expected? Anything that you didn't expect?
It was what I expected. He started off. We said, this is what I said. If you listen to the corner advice, you can see we were going to stay on the outside. We were going to stay on the outside, get relaxed till I felt comfortable. And I see the fight settling like it needed to be. Then I said go. Then that's when he went into the takedowns, and it worked perfect. Like you can hear me say, I tell Khabib, now, okay, let's go. And all of a sudden, there you go, boom, we got taken down. And from there, it was like we realized we hit pay dirt with that, because we saw the Moises didn't really have much for him on the ground. He was still dangerous with the leg locks, which we knew. But, and there was a point there where if Islam wasn't as proficient with leg locks, then he could have been in trouble. But when he did get him in that position where it almost went, you can see Islam was going to go to the next step of defense. But that was a good lock that he had before the bell rang. But again, we were going to get out of it. But again, it was still a good attempt on Moises' part. But the plan went according to plan. We used Father's plan mostly, and he worked it to a T. Now, did I expect him to submit Moises? No, I couldn't say that, because that guy's no joke, and submitting him, that's an achievement. And the way Islam did it was very impressive. And if anybody says otherwise, then they weren't watching that fight. Very impressive performance to thoroughly dominate a guy that's that proficient in jiu-jitsu, who's been steamrolling people in jiu-jitsu. Yeah, dude, to get that done to him, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting to note, too, you mentioned about Khabib beating Islam in training. I think it's good to note also that Islam is also the closest guy to beat Khabib in training. So to his credit, and then so I want to ask you further from that, what is a major difference between, in your opinion, of Khabib and Islam?
Khabib in actuality is meaner. He's mean. He's just like, and he's like Habib's like this. When he controls you, it's kind of like his whole body controls you. His legs, his toes, his arms, everything locks onto you. You know, Islam is a little slightly different approach, but with Habib, it's just like you feel like every part of his body is preventing you, and he knows what you're going to do next. He's already got the counter to the counter, and he's ahead of you. So, you know, it's like Habib gives you an opening, but that opening is to meet a right hand smash right to your face. Yeah. You know, he is unbelievable how he controls his hips, his feet, everything controls you, everything. I've never seen an MMA fighter control people like that. Islam's a little bit smoother in how he does these transitions, but they're both unbelievable on the ground. And remember, both of them were Sambo champions, both 2 years in a row, or maybe more than that. And the only reason why Islam's probably not more of a champion in Sambo is because I don't think he's competed as many times for the championships. But both of those guys are unbelievable on the ground. One's a little bit more explosive, which is Habib, the more explosive one, but the other one's a little smoother in transitionings, but the other one, just like a boa constrictor, just locks you down on everything. They both do, but one's more pronounced with the punching, and that's Habib.
I think it's Dustin Poirier. I read a comment recently, or a quote from someone. I think it was Dustin Poirier that said Habib's feet were like hands. That was a good description because they really are. I guess
that's kind of more or less what I'm trying to say. That he controls you with his feet also, and more like hands. Yes. He's amazing.
All right, fellas, you want to help support the podcast? I know you do. All this content, all these interviews with these fantastic guests that we're putting out for you, well, now you can. And you can save 20% off and get free shipping by getting the best below-the-waist men's grooming products on the market. I'm talking about Manscaped. All you got to do is go to manscaped.com, manscaped.com, enter code QUICK at checkout, 20% off, and free shipping. Quick is my nickname. It is not how you use the product. Don't be silly, fellas. Come on. But Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and now they have the new Lawnmower 4.0, which is next level, the best trimmer on the market ever made. What makes it different? It has skin-safe replacement ceramic blades, controllable LED lights, wireless charging dock, and a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and it's even waterproof. They also have a full line of hygiene and grooming products like the Shears 2.0 Luxury Nail Kit, Crop Mops, Preserver, Reviver, and a lot more. Manscaped has everything you need to appeal to your lady friend, but don't thank me, thank yourself. By going to manscaped.com, entering code QUICK, get 20% off, get free shipping. It's a win-win for you, it's a win-win for us, and you're supporting the podcast. What was your first impression when Islam came to the gym, and what'd you think of him, and how did he do compared to like now?
Well, when Islam first came, he was super quiet, super nice, and he seemed to want to pick up the striking more than Habib, and working with different people, not just me. He was open to that idea of working with different people. So therefore, his progression in the stand-up went higher than Habib's, because Habib was only loyal to me as his striking coach, and his father as the other coach at home. So, and his father was not a striking expert, and so he didn't strike with anybody at home, only me. So he didn't get to spend as much time with me on the striking. Islam, he'd go home and he'd get other guys teaching him strike, because I was always at those guys. Train with this guy, train with that guy. Find somebody that's a good striking guy. Learn from them. Habib didn't actually do it. Islam did. Did. So Islam's progression and stand-up was double the rate of Habib, especially in the kicking and kneeing department, And then actually Habib got better at knees because he got tired of Islam kneeing the crap out of him.
Yeah. I remember that.
Islam kneed the crap out of him. So next thing you know, Habib's like, man, Habib got knee pads, because I wouldn't allow these guys to throw knees if they don't have knee pads. So Habib getting his knee pads because Islam's just kneeing the crap out of him.
Yeah.
So that's how the progression came. So that's how good Islam was. He was able to adapt on learning from other people. Habib was more on strict loyal, which he didn't have to be, but that's just who Habib is. And Islam's loyal too, but he was just smart enough to let other people train him.
And I know you said Khabib is meaner, and that's a big description. Different between the two. But as far as another thing different, as far as stylistically, so I guess what you're saying is Islam is just more of a striker, and you'd be probably, from my experience with you and the team and everything, probably a little bit more lenient on allowing him to stand up and get away with striking a little bit more than when Khabib was coming up, because Islam took up striking so much faster and sooner and got so much better at it.
Correct. I would feel more comfortable with Islam on the stand up because he had jumped at a higher level. But at the very end there, the last two fights, Khabib just jumped up big time. So then it was like once Khabib started kicking and throwing knees, and his boxing got really good. Khabib's boxing got really good. So, but Islam is at another level. What Islam still has that Khabib never had as good, throws, judo throws, leg sweeps, leg trips. I mean, Khabib has them, but not to the level of Islam now. I mean, you're all of a sudden you're with Islam, you're going with the next thing you know, you're flying. Yeah. You're flying. You're literally flying. Yeah. And I remember when I had Islam go with Luke Rockhold, and and I told Luke, hey, go easy with him, don't go crazy. And he goes, oh no, I'm not gonna go. And so they went at it, and they went at it pretty decent, but you could tell Luke was not going as super hard. And next thing you know, Luke is flying. Luke gets thrown, and I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? I say, Luke, did he just throw you? Luke goes, yeah, Hub. I go, Luke, did you let him? He goes, no, I didn't let him. Yeah. I go, but I'll be ready for him next time. I want to spar him again. I go, okay. So they sparred again, and guess who went flying again?
Yeah.
Luke went flying again. And I said, Luke. He goes, yeah, I know. F that guy. Jokingly.
That's funny, man.
He made him fly again. But again, I have to stress, Luke was not trying to take his head off. Luke was working with him. But Luke was ready for the throws. That I will say. Luke was ready for the throws, but he still couldn't stop it. He couldn't stop it.
And I want to be clear, too, on that, when I mentioned that when I was talking about Islam striking kind of through his career and as he was coming up versus Khabib. Obviously, I wanted to definitely stress that Khabib's striking is fantastic right now, and it was those last fights. I'm just more so talking about coming up. Islam took it up faster, sooner, and was more proficient in the process of getting to where they are right now. And how's Islam taking everything right now? I mean, he's becoming a star. He's becoming a big star. He's the number one requested guy on the podcast, which is why I think this episode is going to be really good, because people are going to get something, at least, since it's not him. But how is he taking this whole newfound kind of like stardom? And there's no doubt everyone thinks he's going to be a champion, and he's getting more famous and following closer to Khabib's footsteps as far as what he's achieved. How is he taking all that? And how is his mentality and humbleness and training and everything? Has it been affected?
He's still the same guy.
That's
so far hasn't affected him. He's still the same guy. He's still he's very nice to people. He's very quiet spoken. He hasn't really taken that leadership role just yet. He's still he's still that super nice, quiet guy. But I expect really soon we're going to see the leader come out in him, like Khabib. Yeah. I saw the leader in Khabib much sooner, but I think we'll be seeing it in Islam very soon also. But right now, no, he's just still real quiet.
I think the torch passed, and with that group and their culture, there's such a respect. Not only is Khabib the best fighter and he was the greatest, but there's also a respect too. And Khabib was the top. He was the leader. So
he's the elder.
You can't go past him and be the big guy when Khabib's around. Now Khabib's a coach. I can see now he's passing the torch over to Islam, and I see Islam taking that role now, and I see the transition happening through these fights. And I think that's going to be what's going to happen next is going to be Islam's going to become more confident, and he's going to become that leader, and he's going to become kind of like Khabib, but just Islam.
Yeah, correct. And also, too, like you're talking about where Khabib's role as a coach now. See, I'm the head coach. So when you talk to Khabib about what does it feel like, Khabib's going to look at you like, bro, what are you talking about? We have a head coach.
Yeah.
It's Javier. He's the head coach. I help, brother. I help. Which in actuality, he kind of is like the head coach. Yeah. He kind of is.
He's very active.
But in his mentality, in his respect level, I'm the head coach. he's just, I'm the boss, and but I don't use my position like that. I look at what I have and I work with it. Like just real quick illustration is when I saw Daniel Cormier, and when he first came to me, and I saw how great of a love he has for coaching. I was like, hey, I may be the head coach, but I can never be a wrestling coach like this guy. So you know what I mean? Let him come in and do his thing. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Look what Daniel Cormier now is he's going to become one of the greatest coaches himself in wrestling. Sure. He's an amazing coach, and now you see it. Everybody sees it.
And the funny thing about DC is he's never stopped coaching. So he's went through his whole UFC career and became a double champ. And is still coaching. He's never stopped coaching kids, coaching the programs at AKA. Every time I come home and I go to AKA, DC's coaching, and I'm just like, while he was a champion, while he was a double champ, while he was, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like he's a true coach to the core. Let me ask you when. So I don't remember, and this is why I'm going to ask you this, because I personally don't even know. I remember when the guys came in. I remember when Khabib and those guys came in, or Khabib came in. At least I remember when he came in. What brought Islam in, and when did all the other guys show up? Did Khabib? I know King Mo brought in or talked Khabib into going to AK initially, and he came. What was the process of Khabib coming and then all the other guys showing up, like Islam and Zuba and all the original guys that came with them?
Yeah, well, the process first started with Khabib in 2012 and his second UFC fight, when he was getting ready to fight. What's his name? I forgot. Why am I having a brain fart?
Because we're just going to forget names. It's okay. It's all right. Everyone understands.
His second UFC fight, he comes. King Mo said, "Hey, I have this Muslim guy from Russia that wants to come train with us. Is it cool?" I said, "Anybody for you. Anybody that wants to come through you, that can come." Mm-hmm. He came in. Khabib liked it here. He trained 1 month with us, and he came again for his next fight. He wanted to come. I go, absolutely, you can come again. And then it's so on the second fight, third fight, fourth fight, he kept coming with us. And then he asked if some of his other guys can come, and I said absolutely. And the people he brought with him was he brought over Manap Abu Bakr, his cousin, and he brought Islam and Islam Mabadov. Mm-hmm. They all came with him on the following trip when they all came together. I believe they came around 2014, and then 2015 his father came along too, and then that's around the time that Umar came, and then so on and so on and so on. But that's how it happened. Originally, Islam came with the first group that Khabib came with. Islam was part of that group. Manap and the other Islam, both Mabadov and Islam Makhachev, both came during that time.
It's amazing because, like, I remember that, and when they were there, I was there in 2014-15. I fought in 2015 for Garcia, so I came in for that fight week, and I was there in 2014 as well. And I remember when Khabib and the guys were there, and they were staying in the hotel behind the gym, and they were all shacked up, and they didn't have much, and they were so simple, so humble. No. Now Khabib's the most famous Russian athlete, one of the most famous Russians in the world, or Russian dialects, next to Putin. So it's crazy to see him come from like being all shacked up in a hotel behind the gym, not having much, just doing everything he can to train and get by and be simple and humble, and then now he's so big. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I get emails from super high profile important people. They want to invite Khabib to their country, and we get a lot of things like that. I mean, I never in my life got that from anybody, only him. Yeah. There's just royalty, kings, prime ministers, presidents, checks, oligarchs. they want to be around him because he has the it factor, like Muhammad Ali, Cristiano. Yeah. Exactly. Those kind of people have the it factor. Khabib in the fight world has the it factor, and people want to be around him because he's all about positiveness. For instance, let me give you a reason why people love him is because he's real. Okay, when Gaji, his one, our one fighter fought in the Bellator event, and he knocked the guy out, and Khabib was so concerned, he was so concerned for his opponent, and he was there helping him. People were like filming Khabib, watching him do this with great concern, and it wasn't phony. He wasn't trying to be like for the marketing. No, he was legitimately concerned for the opponent, and that's what people love him and things like that. And because he's real and he shows it, and he's not about the flash, not about the fancy cars. He's not showing you this great car he has or this or that. I mean, he has decent stuff, right? But he doesn't go out there for the flashy stuff, and people love that about him.
Yeah. And I know Islam, getting back to Islam, I know Islam's funny and he pranks and he said some, I loved his past call outs that he's had. I think he called out Brock Lesnar one time. He called out a bunch of other people. How is it? Because obviously I've been away and I've been doing stuff in Thailand. So share some of his personality a little bit so people can know that he's not just serious and he's not just like a Khabib and Khabib's not either all serious, but they look serious. Share some insight to show that like what his personality is really like, because it is funny.
It is really funny, but the best explanation I can tell you, and you should probably put him on your podcast, the Instagram post that I did with him when he's opening up Khabib's mail, and he's opening up mail from fans. You should do that. Post that so people want an idea. Have it posted.
It's funny.
Post them like you got it from me. You got permission. Post
I'll
the
post
videos of him on your side, on your YouTube. Post them. And then that'll give you an idea why Islam is so funny and why people should follow this guy. He has got a great personality, man. He's really funny, and show that will tell it all right there. And me explaining doesn't do it justice. Him doing it. So I would just tell for all the fans that are listening to your podcast, put it on your YouTube channel, some of my Instagram posts, and take whatever ones you want. There's so many of them on there. But I'm gonna
do it for sure. I'm gonna do it for sure, just see what happens. But yeah, definitely. And then how is he under Khabib? Because I mean, we went into this a little bit, but Khabib's the coach now. He's the fighter. They were teammates, but both fighting and preparing together. Now he's looking at Khabib as a coach, and he's in his corner. How is he taken to that, and how is that meshed between the two?
Nothing's changed because, something
Khabib's
that
always
you
been
probably weren't
leader.
aware of and you weren't probably paying attention while you were fighting, because you were fighting, is that Khabib, when he was fighting, he still was coaching these guys. He still was cornering these guys. So for those guys, nothing has really changed much because Khabib is still in there grappling with these guys and whooping up on everybody. He's whooping up on all these guys to give them what, because he goes, Coach, how are these guys going to know what it feels like to go with the world-class grappler, fight and grapple with them? And I said, Khabib, you're 100% correct. They're going to know what it feels like to be going up against the best ever. And you're the best ever, so at your weight. So, yeah, it would be best for you to grapple with them because, of course. So that's why Khabib grapples with these guys. So he wants these guys to get a feel for what it's like. And he does it with all the AKA guys, everybody that's within that weight variance, not too heavy, not, because you don't want to go too heavy guys. But, 200 pounds and under is good for Khabib, And he goes with anybody and then shows them, works with them, and that's what he's been doing. He's always done that. And with Islam, he more than anything, when he's done sparring, Khabib, he'll corner Islam while he's sparring, even while he was fighting. And he's still doing that now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, silly question, but the followers don't know that. And then I guess give me a prediction. Give me how he's going to beat RDA. How do you see that fight going? Without giving strategy.
I just think that the whole plan was what I never want to go for a finish. Just I want to go and take him out. So I don't know.
If it happens.
Whether we're going to use the Matador plan, Father's plan, or another plan. But I love Father's plan. It's been 100% effective. Father's plans is zero L's. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean we'll go that route, but we could. And the thing is, even if we went that route, there's nobody that can stop it anyways. So they can do all they can. Like, give me for instance, Justin Gaethje was talking about, I'm wrestling with Jordan Burroughs and he can't take me down. But you're wrestling with the Olympic, one of the best wrestlers of all time, but you're just purely wrestling. Now try wrestling with someone that was punching you. Try wrestling with somebody that's a master at that. It's a different story. If Jordan Burroughs was a great striker, then try going with him and see if you can stop his takedown. I don't know if you can. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a different story. And I knew that way back almost 20 years ago, that there's a big difference between wrestling and MMA. in the fighting department. You know, I had one guy that was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, you know, like 4-time national champion, had credentials for days, right? And the guy was older. I'm not going to mention names, but the guy was unbelievable as a wrestler, like one of the best, right? But when it came to striking, he was, oh my gosh, he could not handle it. He could not handle it. And it was like a totally different fighter, man. Totally different fighter. And I knew right then and there, there's no way this guy could be a fighter because, you know, he's a great wrestler, but not a fighter. So, again, I knew right then and there, there's a difference between fighting and difference between wrestling. Some wrestlers can be fighters because they're fighters anyways, but not all wrestlers, you know, everybody can wrestle, but not everybody that wrestles and is a world champion in wrestling is a fighter. One person I think that I watched in wrestling, that's a woman that just won. She's the first United States woman that won the wrestling title.
Cool.
She's a Mensa, whatever. I forgot her name.
I'm so out of the loop on that.
But anyways, this girl is a fighter.
Yeah.
Man, she's a fighter. Yeah, she's the first Afro-American, African-American, not African, but the first black woman wrestler. She killed it, man. She was unbelievable. This girl, I think as an MMA fighter, she'd destroy everybody. Nice. I mean, with time, but she would destroy. She teched everybody. Yeah. Like the 3 matches I saw her, she teched them, man. Like, wow. I was like, 10-0, boom, 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 done, out. No one scored a point. The first 3 matches I saw her, no one scored. I'm sure the Olympian, where she fought for the gold medal, I don't think it scored. But anyways, I'm just stressing that some people are wrestlers and wrestlers only. Some people are wrestlers and they're fighters too.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to add, if you can send me some footage, a couple little quick clips of Islam that shows his personality, I'll put them in the podcast. I'll either put them when we talked about it or I'll put them at the end. So if you guys are watching, stay to the end. We're almost done here. And I'll put them in there just so people can see, because I want people to have a good idea who Islam is from this podcast, because that's the whole point of it.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. Mike Swick, he's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.
What is Islam looking to do after fighting? Because we know what Khabib did and is doing. Obviously, he's very charitable. He's doing a lot of other stuff, and then he's coaching full time. What is Islam going to do? What is his passions after fighting, you think? And I know this is way preemptive, but
I don't know, but I'm imagining it's going to be something to do to help his family and get him established in businesses so they don't have to worry, and his relatives and his friends, and then do some charitable thing for people, because that's what those guys do. They like helping people. They don't like. They're not going to flaunt their money. They're going to use their money to help, but they're not going to let it be known that they help. They're just going to be quiet about it. They're not going to say, "Oh, I helped this person. Look, me." They're not going to do that. Right. So they do things behind the scenes. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. And you won't know about it. But I happen to know that they do help.
Yeah. He's going to basically follow. I mean, and as I know, Khabib is going to take care of these guys, and they're all going to together do business and do stuff afterwards, and throughout their career as well. I know that. So, I figured that was what you would say. But just to give everyone else perspective on that. So thanks for sharing all this input with Islam. They're going to greatly appreciate this, everybody that's watching. And if we can add these clips, if you can send me these clips on Telegram.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to you. Yeah,
send it to me on high def on Telegram. I'll pop them in there. And here's the thing, guys. These clips that we're putting in the podcast right now, these are just a couple clips of Hav filming Islam that shows his personality. But please follow Hav's Instagram, follow his podcast, because he has the most... Like, if you want to know about Islam because you're watching this podcast and you're still watching right now, you obviously want to know about Islam. this is the man to get the information from and to find out everything about Islam. If you follow Hob, you follow his videos, you follow his podcast, you will know way more than what we talked about right now, because I mean, I learned from watching Hob and live vicariously through him and his Instagram, through all the gym and the guys and everything else. But you post some amazing stuff. Like, it's really, it's sad that more people don't see it. And I know a lot of people do see it, but everyone should see it, because like everyone wants to know about Islam, and like your stuff is like very transparent to him.
Yeah, everybody likes this stuff. Everybody likes the bantering between Khabib and I, and you'll love Islam. You will love Islam, because
Absolutely.
You'll see his personality comes out and how he is such a good-hearted person. And him and Khabib, I'm gonna send you a video with him and Khabib interacting, and it's all related to opening each other's mail. So you guys will get that.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the input, Hav, and thanks for coming on again. And probably 2 more days I'll call you and beg you to come back on again. No, I'll give you a break. I'll give you a break this time. But thanks for the input. I appreciate having you on. Good talking to you and seeing you. And I'm sorry I couldn't make it down to see you this trip. I've been swamped and I'm about to leave, but we'll catch up soon, hopefully in Thailand, because the borders are open. So hopefully I can drag you to Thailand.
Well, I mean, maybe if I can win one of those trips, maybe
leave a
get
comment.
To Thailand. I heard you giving out trips for lucky people that come in and do some nice quotes and give T-shirts and all these giveaways.
All
and then I
expense
guess
paid
you
trips.
give away trips. So hey, maybe I'm lucky and I can give you a good quote, and maybe someone can pick my name out of the hat and Javier, you're going to Thailand again with your son.
Yeah, leave a comment and we'll see what happens. But for those of you that don't know, this video does qualify. So if you haven't seen the video, it's a couple videos back or whatever on my Instagram, on my YouTube. Watch it. I'm giving away all expense paid trips to or covered trips to Thailand. I'm flying you. I'm paying for everything. You're a month of training, a month of hotel, a month of food, a month of motorbike. Transfer from the airport. I'm flying you from your home anywhere in the world to Phuket. This is happening once a month, but you win a prize every podcast. So somebody who's leaving a comment right now below us will win something, and we'll announce it on the next one. Now, we're going to announce 2 on the next one, because we did these real close back to back, and we don't have a winner yet. Yeah. We don't have a winner of the MMA headlines episode that we posted last, but we're gonna announce both winners on the next podcast, which will be hopefully Paige Van Zant in Dubai. So stay tuned for that. And and then leave some comments, Hav. Maybe they'll like your comment, and you'll get an all expense paid trip to Thailand again.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're not the guy judging the comments, because I probably won't get there if you're the guy.
Because you're rich and famous,
we
and
have some of your other guys judge the comments. People that are favoring me,
You're so rich and famous. You can do whatever you want. You probably get a private jet from someone in Dubai sent to you to fly to Thailand. I'm trying to pick people that don't have private jets and abilities to get private jets. I'm trying to give those guys a chance, that's
yeah. I think sometimes we think we can do that, and maybe I can. I don't know.
No, you can.
I don't think I'd try it though.
You took a 7, not even a 40. You took the biggest plane ever, but 3 people. Stop. You got everything you want.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was the prince's own private plane.
Yeah, I've never been on a prince's plane before, so yeah, I'm trying to get people with a little less networking and ability.
Yeah. Well, it's just people that love Khabib.
But I want you to come out, and I'll help you as much as I can to have a great trip, and we'll do some business. And we got a lot of stuff worked out. We're with Live Train now. We're doing stuff with Mickey Ward. We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff in Thailand. And so yeah, look forward to having you out. Thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks for giving the input to Islam. They're going to be so appreciative. And please follow Javier's podcast. Look it up, Javier Podcast on YouTube, and obviously his Instagram. He posts so much stuff. I'm so happy you post so much stuff. A lot of people don't want to post about their fighters and film them all the time, but the guys like it, and you do it. It's great. It's fantastic. So thanks for doing it.
Well, because I have fun. I have fun with it. Yeah, I have fun with it. So I'll send it to you.
Okay, you send it to me right now, or are you texting?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. I thought I caught you texting again. I caught you texting before. This is the second time I caught Hob texting during my podcast.
I'm going to send you what I told you I was going to send. Got to keep my word.
Well, thanks for being on the podcast, Hob, and we'll talk soon.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Coach!
Islam, you're late. parking out there. What is wrong with you?
Wow.
Look at that.
I'm the best.
This is because of you guys.
How many followers?
A little bit, not a lot.
100,000.
But please, if you guys can sign. Because of you and Chase.
You deserve this.
You and Chase right here. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Coach.
I'm in Chase. How many? You?
I think you and Chase video, I think over 4 million.
Your video did over 4 million. Hey.
What is this for sign? I need big small.
Why?
Small bike because my bike.
Oh no, these are janky ones. These are just for you to sign.
He wants to take them.
I don't take this.
You want to take them? You're a bad guy, Islam.
Can't take them, okay?
Look, you got these today. For you, from fans, because they feel bad for you. Why you make people feel bad for you?
No, Coach.
Yes, it's yours.
Never.
You gotta open.
Never ever.
There's a lot of bullshit around.
Hey, Islam, you're not the only one that gets packages here. Khabib gets packages too.
This is mine.
What?
No,
What are you talking about?
1 second,
One
brother.
second, show
Brother,
me,
Coach,
just-
give me this, brother.
Just show me name.
Get out of here.
Name.
Oh, now you gotta open the gift. And I got a lot of I got a lot of requests for gym address. People want to send you more gifts.
What is? Name.
What?
Brother, this is my brother.
Name.
What could you
What? Hey, Coach.
What?
Money.
What?
No way.
Is it money?
Habib, is there
What?
No way. 1 second, 1 second.
1 second.
1 second, this is under my name, brother.
Hey, your name. Show me.
Relax, brother, relax.
Hey, my name.
What do you mean? Islam, is it yours? I thought this was Habib. Oh, it's your name?
1 second,
Oh.
Hey,
Habib.
relax. Because they don't know my name is like correct. That's why they say.
Hey, bye, brother. This is his name.
Brother, who this guy, brother? Who this? Only time brother, you just come to I'm long time captain, brother.
Hey, give
Since
me.
2016, 15.
Brother, he take all my money.
Coach.
Okay, maybe. Okay, my switch.
What is it, Brian? What do you think?
I don't know. It looks like a book.
A book? It's a book.
Book, Coach.
It's a book?
This is Quran.
The
I
Quran?
have.
Yeah, the English version. Is this the?
This is not the English one.
This is the good. The
Very good one.
The good one.
Two.
Oh yeah, Islam is like crazy.
Let me see. Woman.
Why money? Why money?
He got money?
This is like crazy, coach.
Oh wow!
I never see this in my life. But 1 second.
But who's this person?
How much?
But who's this person?
1 second.
On the box in the back.
Brian. Coach, now I'm rich.
Let's go to the pizza.
How much I have?
30, раз, два, три, четыре, пять, 35.
Who's the person? Who's the person send this?
1 second, coach. 35. Умножь на 20. $700.
$700?
And this one, Louis Vuitton.
Wow, Louis Vuitton too.
Coach. Before I use, when I learn how read,
Yeah.
I use this from Abdullah Al Muhayya. Thank you, brother.
$700.
$700.
Hey, give everybody money.
He can buy lunch first.
Hey, you gotta buy your brother's lunch now. Islam. You're a rich guy.
Where are you going, Islam? We're gonna put.
Let's go somewhere, eat together.